So help me welcome our featured guest. He's an expert on conscious intelligence. In fact, he's the author of the book, Conscious Intelligence. I'm curious, you're a martial artist, you're an open water competitive swimmer, and we're talking about mastery. So I'd like to dig down into mastery for a moment, because I think mastery as an entrepreneur is one of the main differences between entrepreneurs that are highly successful, build a company that has millions and millions of revenue, and those that can never seem to break out of 100,000. How does martial arts and open swimming and entrepreneurship, what is the key to mastery?
Wow, that is a great, I'm so glad you asked that. There are a couple concepts. Yeah, I learned this mostly. First of all, let's start with martial arts. It's strive for excellence, not perfection. People that are trying to be perfectionists will drive themselves crazy. But that means that the way that you do the small things are the way that you do the big things. So creating habits and discipline, discipline, you hear that word a lot, especially as an athlete. If you are going to be a world-class athlete competitively, you can't just lollygag around showing up to practices when you want and doing whatever you want. So there is a level of discipline, and there's a mindset that has to do with excellence and not with anything that you do. And I think of the Japanese, whether they're doing a tea ceremony or whether they're doing a martial art with sword or whether they're arranging flowers, they are completely focused on every detail because they understand that this applies to a much bigger concept. The way that you're running your company, the way that you're communicating and setting up your mission. All these things are details that are generated that reflect, everything that comes off of your desk reflects your organization and it reflects you. So gaining mastery, this is the other thing about mastery. You reach your black belt. That's not a finish line. That's the starting line. That's when it's like, great. Now that you've learned all of the different katas and different techniques, now they're saying, good, you have them all figured out. Now you get to start to play. So it's not until black belt until you're actually really creating something. And congratulations, now you're at the starting line. Now you get to go and start doing that. So mastery is also not something that you sit on and ride on your laurels. It's not a mountain that you've summited and then you stand there and like I'm there. I'm done. It's always a climb. It is always striving higher and higher and climbing and elevating and reaching, always for something. So there's a humility to understanding that nobody considers themselves a master. They're always striving for that. Other people might note you as a master, but it is always, even the Dalai Lama, even any 12th degree, whatever, but they're always trying to get to that next level. You're always climbing a higher peak. So I think that it gets really dangerous when we think that we've gotten there, or we think we know it all, or we think that we've gained every piece of wisdom that's out there. There's that famous quote, he who thinks he knows does not know. He who knows he does not know knows. So in a summary, I know I mentioned a lot of things, but those are kind of the things that came to mind when you talked about what does mastery mean and how do you apply it to your life, and how I have. Overall, especially being an open water swimmer, the ocean, if there's ever a time that even Michael Phelps thinks that he is in control of the ocean, that's the day that he will drown, because there's a humility and understanding to what we do, to always have to yield that power to something higher than yourself. And when you appreciate that, you're going to thrive.
So help me welcome our featured guest. He's an expert on conscious intelligence. In fact, he's the author of the book, Conscious Intelligence. So I'm curious, I want to stay on this mastery theme, and then I want to just ask one more question. And then I want to talk about, how did you create wealth, not from the mechanics, but from the journey perspective, the principles that you've learned, that now you look at it and you go, even the question of, I wish I'd known that it took me this long to figure that piece out, right? What is the best approach? And by that, I mean, do you take one area and you say, I really want to master this area? And then how should your mindset be about approaching it?
So I do believe that if you're really going to do something, go deep, be the expert, be indispensable. If people, the people that are in your life, the listener's life, your life, my life, the people in my life that are irreplaceable are really and their services or who they are or what they're doing, those are the people that are really important to me. So if I start every day out serving my clients, providing my services, and asking myself, how can I be indispensable? Well, that means that I got to become an expert. That means that I need to connect with people. All these tools, all these things that have me be indispensable. And if you're indispensable, it's really hard to get rid of that person. And in that way, you generate value to your clients. And I would add, it was kind of in the earlier question that you had, that doing that is actually not as much empowering yourself, but it's really about empowering others. It's facilitating something that allows them to get further in their life. And when they see that, that is really powerful. And by the way, that's the conscious part of Conscious Millionaire, is being a support in empowering others. And any powerful leader, the ones that aren't wielding power because it's given to them, but earning the power, they're earning it because they're empowering others. And those people, think about when somebody has empowered you. There's nothing more valuable than the appreciation that, wow, that person has really helped me. That person has really helped me advance. It's like my gratitude for them is unbelievable. So if you're that to somebody, how can you lose? How can you fail? And I think that is really the secret sauce to gaining and continuing to rise to success in my operations and in my enterprises. And that's how I've done it.